You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
Griffon football bounces back by blowing up the jungle. Basketball, meanwhile, bounces back in the swing of things. Longtime coach Tom Smith discusses this season and his future.
And if I'm not the guy who can get us back there, then it's probably time to retire.
Hey, but not so fast. GSI is all about redemption. The Griffon train back in the fast lane, which can only mean one thing.
Total pain.
Hello and welcome. What a great time to be a Griffon. Hey, get out of here.
Go tweet something, would you? Oh.
Max is still partying, and you know what he should be. Fresh off a dominating win at Pittsburgh State, Griffon football now sets its sight on undefeated Emporia State, Brett Easley.
Total pain. It's a battle this Thursday night in nationally ranked teams. The Griffons up to number 12 in the nation. Emporia State is 15th.
Well, but before we look ahead, we flash back one more just ignore them. We flash back one more time to last weekend where the Griffons threw down the biggest beatdown in the jungle since year one of World War I. Welcome to the jungle, a history-making day in Pittsburgh, Kansas for more reasons than one. Record crowd on hand to see the number 16 Griffons and the number 7 Gorillas. Both teams coming off tough losses from a week ago. No one could have predicted the beating that was about to come. Pick it up early first quarter. Pitt draws first blood. Anthony Abinoa hooks up with John Brown for a 6-yard scoring strike. Gorillas take a 7-0 lead. From there, you probably know what happened, but still may not believe it while you're seeing it. Travis Partridge, reverse play action fake. Mike Hill all alone, and he has a 48-yard touchdown. Griffs tie it at 7. Couple minutes later, Partridge airing it out again. This time it's Derek Livy in stride. He makes a move. He's gone. 64-yard scoring strike. Griffs take the lead, and then things get absolutely stupid. Second quarter, Abinoa's pass tipped and picked off by David Bass.
I remember reaching up and grabbing it, and I had first mind to just go down because the offense was hot, so let them take over. But Sante's like, "You good? Ain't nobody here." I felt like Mike Hill just for a second.
His first career touchdown, 21-7 Griffs. Gorillas turn it over again on their next possession. Then Partridge hits Rip right over the middle for his first career touchdown catch. Couple minutes later, back in the red zone, Partridge to Reggie Jordan, his 8th touchdown catch of the season. Gus Gorilla is catatonic. Griffs take a 27-point lead and far from finished just before the half. Back at the goal line again. Partridge walks away, direct snap to Hill, who plows in for 6. The nearly 12,000 fans in attendance sit in stunned silence as the Griffs take a 42-7 lead to halftime. The Western fans can't believe it either. Coach Partridge, your thoughts?
I want our kids to go out and play the same way they played that first half. That was as good as we could play. Now we got to get done the second half.
Third quarter, more the same. Hill walks into the end zone, one of his 4 touchdowns on the day. The Griffons score 56 unanswered points on the Gorillas. The defense was just phenomenal. Bass, one of the big reasons why. 2.5 sacks and that pick 6, of course, as Missouri Western destroys Pitt State 63-14 the final. It's Pitt's worst home loss in 98 years, and they run their record to 7-1 on the season. After that heartbreaking loss to Missouri Southern last week, this is about the best bounce-back performance anyone could have asked for.
You don't expect to come beat a program like this 63-14. It just doesn't happen. Hardly ever happens, and especially right here in this place right here. That doesn't happen.
The confidence never left them. We believe we were going to come in here and win. Not to that extent.
Coming in and they're the #1 team in the conference on defense, to put up 63 points on them, and you only give up 14. I mean, you can't expect any more. So I didn't expect it to be that big, but obviously it's better to have that than a dogfight, which we expected.
Definitely we came out here ready to play. This atmosphere was awesome. I mean, we knew we were still the offense that we are, and we came out here and showed it today, and not just offense, but as a team.
That's Griffon football. That's what we should be playing all around.
And joining us now, head coach Jerry Partridge. I know it's a short week. We got a lot to look ahead to, but let's look back a few more minutes. I won't kill anybody. What's going through your mind as that game is unfolding?
Are you kidding me? You know, is that the question, or I don't know, but it was happening. And you just kept thinking, okay, one more, I feel better. And then one more, I feel better. And one more score, I feel better. And finally, 49-7, I thought, hey, this is over.
Arguably one of the biggest plays in the game. David Bass time, tip, interception, and he got to the house this time.
You know, late second quarter, whatever, early second quarter, 14-7, and we run a blitz, and the kid is open in the flat. If he catches it, he might go score, make it 14 all Pitt. But you know, the big mid of David Bass gets his hand on it, knocks it in the sky, intercepts it and scores, and then just turn the tables on a whole football game. And then that whole flurry of just making plays, and we end up putting away at halftime.
You impressed with how your defense played too, especially too after struggling the last couple weeks to kind of come in and hold them to 14 points?
We gave some yards, but I thought we made the plays we had to make against a very good offense. I mean, John Brown had a good day, but the things they do running-wise, when you get out of the box and when you get in the box, the things they do passing-wise, I was very concerned about stopping them. And can we win a shootout against them was what I was really worried about, and can we move the ball in their number one ranked defense enough? You
know, your quarterback, the Partridge kid, 4 more touchdown tosses. He is 9th in the nation in pass efficiency rating with a 162 rating, 22 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions. Just talk about what he's doing right now.
And then I don't know how many times he's scored himself. I mean, what, 5 or 6? And so he's way up there. He's playing well. I mean, he's not trying to do too much. He's managing the offense the way he's supposed to. And now you can kind of start to see the next level of it, where he's understanding coverages. He has a lot of confidence getting the ball down the football field. We haven't thrown the ball. I wish I'd go back and look at it. I need to look at it, but I don't know how many passes we've thrown in the fourth quarter all year. I would be surprised if it's 20. And I'd be really surprised. And then Saturday we only thought 1 time. I think that was the thing that was interesting. Is I think some people look at his stats from Saturday and say, "That was, that's okay. It's a good day." That was the first half. Yep. That was what it was. And then you double that up, that's an unbelievable day. So I was real pleased with how he played.
You've been telling people all year, I don't think we've played our best football yet. We talked at halftime. We saw it Saturday, didn't we? So far?
You said it. You're on record saying it.
Probably so. I mean, I still think defensively we can do some things better. We still get up some yards, but and we haven't got our return game going yet. I think we're excellent in the return game. Nothing's really happened in kickoff return and punt return. It's been hard to do punt return. No one punts the ball very good. So, you know, coverage units weren't as good, but that John Brown guy has something to do with it.
How crucial is confidence right now? How dangerous is confidence?
Well, you got to just, confidence always is crucial and helps. I think any week, not last week, not just this week coming up or the first week or whatever week it is, I think if we don't beat ourselves, in other words, don't have those silly penalties, extend drives, or wipe out touchdowns, don't lose a turnover battle, then I like our chances to win football games.
You're going to have to be confident. You're going to have to be focused, because you have the shocking surprise of the MIAA, the 8-0 first place Emporia Hornets this Thursday night. We'll talk about them when we come back.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. But it's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. I mean, I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries, but it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.
Are you interested in crime scene investigations? Consider the Graduate Certificate or the Masters of Applied Science in Forensic Investigations at Missouri Western State University. Have a busy schedule? Missouri Western classes are delivered online and in the classroom through semester or week-long courses. Criminal investigations positions are available with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. Missouri Western's programs offer the classroom and hands-on experiences you'll need to enhance your career opportunities in the field of forensic investigations.
Well, more beatboxing with Bo. Thursday night football. Griffin's on the road at Emporia State. Bo, under the lights. We need a prediction.
I do some of my best work on Thursday nights. Final score, 227 to -2.
-2? -2. Really? Why -2?
We decided we were going to take 2 points off for bad behavior. Total pain.
Well, I don't think it's possible to score -2 points, not when the Emporia State Hornets are ranked 15th in the nation and you guys are 1-2 in total offense.
He was almost right last week.
He was almost right last week.
As one Bowden knows, Southern after the game was taunting our kids about beatboxing with Bo.
Oh, Bo. Okay. Well, okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Time to move on.
Emporia State, as we said, scoring 36 points a game. A lot has been made about their schedule and who they haven't played this year. But you know as well as anybody, you got to win the games that's in front of you, and they've done that. 8-0.
It's not their fault. They got, when the schedule makers made it 3 years ago, that's what they got, and who knows who was going to be good and what was going to happen. And I'm sure when they looked at the schedule and said, hey, no Pitt, no Central, yes, I like that, and I would like it too. But they've won the games. Offensively, they've been very prolific, throwing the ball very well. Eckerd Road's having a great year. I think Guerin does a great job with his offense, and he understands kind of how to spread you out and what to do with you. And when you go here, he's going to go a different place, and he's a very, very, very heady coach. And they're going to be difficult. There's no doubt. Defensively, they have some athletes. They're significantly improved, and they're playing a high level too. They rank higher than us in about every statistical category there is.
Yeah, they lead the league in interceptions at 17 already this season. So they've done some good things on that side of the ball.
Yes, I mean they're a good football team, and it's going to be a they've had some games where it's close, but I mean they almost lose at Baptist, but I think Eckerd Road pulled his groin that day. Baptist beat Southern, who beat us. They've been a team that's performed at the level they're supposed to play at, and now they're really, really emotionally high and feel pretty good. And I think they'd realize that this game is a game where if they win it, they're in great position to finish this thing, get in the playoffs.
Well, major implications Thursday night, no doubt. Game's on TV, going to be a great environment down there. Short turnaround, short week for both teams. Coming off our euphoric win last Saturday, is it almost good to come back to a game like this? I know that's a hard question, but the immediate thing some people would point to say, well, golly, you're going to have an emotional letdown, such a big win last week. You better be ready to go Thursday night because you know they will in that environment. Is it good to come back to a game like this?
I just soon played on Saturday. These Thursday games, I hate them during the week because I feel like I'm playing catch up the whole week, but I love them when the week's over with a win. I know that. I would be really disappointed, emotional letdown, but that's what we got to do as coaches. We got to make sure we're emotionally ready and mentally ready and get these kids mentally focused to play the football game. I think Thursday night, physically we'll be ready and mentally we'll be ready.
Talked a lot about national rankings all year, but the first ranking that has come out that really does mean something, the Super Region 3 poll. We've seen it now. It's the first one. We're ranked 9th. Talk about your feeling about that and especially what you see ahead of you.
Well, I've been on that for the last, I don't know how many years, 3 years, I think it was. And so I knew from week to week how things could really flop. And people say, now how do you go from 9th to 4th and 4th to 8th? And the strength of schedule changes so much week to week. Now that's why they pushed it so late. I know that number 5 Northwest and number 9 Missouri Western, the strength of schedule has to be a sliver because the schedule's the exact same, and East Central's got 3 wins and William Jewell's got 2 wins, so it's got to be a sliver. So there's got to be everybody's got to be packed in it pretty close. So I don't know why the 2 lost Winona teams in there, but it really doesn't matter because it'll all move around. And you know what? If we don't beat Emporia, it's not going to matter.
What's the key to the game Thursday night?
We can't have the foolish penalties that have kind of bit us, in some of these games. We probably got away with a couple Saturday even, where I thought,
everything went right on Saturday.
Yeah,
go right.
I mean, there's probably a couple roughing the passers that could have been called on somebody that usually gets them, and then we can't have that. We can't turn the football over and they're a takeaway team. I mean, if we get that game and I say, man, we didn't have any foolish penalties, we didn't turn it over, I think we're going to win.
Salad dressings today are Italian ranch and French. This is a pretty to the point, tantalizing trio today. Sports, current events. I think you'll be ready for this. Good questions this week, too, by the way, guys. We now know who the World Series teams are. Sorry, one of them's not who you wanted it to be.
Apologize.
Who wins, Tigers or Giants?
Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers. Huh?
Justin Verlander.
I think that's a pretty good pick. Golly, the BCS poll's out now. 2 of them now. Who wins the BCS right now? Kansas State have a chance at that?
Who's going to win the national championship, you ask me? Alabama.
And finally, the National Hockey League. That thing's a cesspool right now. Are they going to play this year, and do you care if they play this year?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
You're a hockey fan.
Hockey guy.
I think it's important to have that sport, yeah. I would love to see Kansas City get one. I'd go to games.
Well, let's go to the game Thursday and win at Emporia. That'd be
That would be nice.
I'd like to do that.
To do that, yes.
We'll
see you there.
That's Coach Jerry Partridge. We'll be right back.
I am a running back. My job is to carry the load. Need an inch? I'll take a yard. Maybe 10, maybe 30. Give me room and I'll be gone. Get in my way and I will run you over. I'm Michael Hill, and this is Griffon Football.
I am your physical therapist. My job is to crack the whip, push you. Got an ache? I've got the remedy. Muscles weak? I'll make you strong. Whatever it is, I will get you better. I'm Nikki Hilgenberg, and this is Spine and Sport.
No win. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is certainly long enough, and it is certainly perfect. Man. Another field goal by Greg Zuerlein. He is now 5 for 5.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on field goal kicking.
When the game's on the line, there's no one better than Zuerlein.
Train like the pros, my friends.
Missouri Western Basketball's 9th annual tip-off party set for this Wednesday night. Get a chance to meet the 2012-13 Griffon Hoops teams. 3-point contest, dunk contest, you name it, they'll do it. Event tips off at 7 p.m. on the 24th. Free pizza, free t-shirts, and free admission. Welcome back. You come out Wednesday night, you could get this lovely t-shirt. Would look good on you. Definitely looks good on Ryan Menley.
Yeah, if you're one of the first 500, you get one of these. It's
Absolutely.
that easy.
That's simple. We'll feed you as well. Come on out and see that. Griffins are hoping for big bounce-back years from both teams.
Yeah, the men coming off a season of heartbreaking losses and overall struggle. But the longtime floor general feels this team can rebound this year. And if not, it may be time for a new direction. That coming from head coach Tom Smith himself.
Entering his 38th year as a head coach, his 25th at Missouri Western, and with 608 career wins under his belt, Tom Smith has a retirement strategy that he'd rather not take.
I know that if we don't get back up to where I think the program deserves to be, then, you know, it's probably time for somebody else.
But this season's Griffon team hopes to put those plans on hold.
Yeah, we have some bigs that are pretty versatile and then some other guards that can shoot it.
There's little doubt in my mind we'll shoot the ball a lot better than we did last year.
The Griffons are shooting much higher than last season's 9-17 record, a season where 9 losses were decided by just 6 points or fewer.
And I think we have to do a better job of closing out wins.
Overall, Missouri Western brings in a mix of 5 newcomers and 7 returners, including second-year guard James Harris, an offensive threat who struggled to consistently find a hot hand last season.
We need to have the year out of James Harris that we expected to have last year, and we didn't get.
Coach told me just to be consistent all through the season. I got to lead my team on the court. When Coach Smith's not talking, they trying to hear me.
Throw in 3-point threat Alex Toluca, new coming swingman Janan Merkatovich, and Al Freeman Flowers, and the Griffons have the potential to possess heavy offensive firepower.
I think that this year we're going to have 2 or 3 guys that we can actually go to, maybe even more.
And maybe if all comes together, one of the most historically successful teams in the MIAA can get back to where they belong.
You know, our goals is to be back up in that, you know, top 4 or 5, you know, and be competing at the top of the league.
If not, the winningest coach in Missouri Western history will have to search deeper into his soul to reach a decision he's never had to make.
You know, I don't think in my case, you know, it's not a case of being tired or anything else. I think it's just a case of this program, I think, deserves to be at the top. And if I'm not the guy who can get us back there, then it's probably time to retire.
The Griffon men open play next Tuesday, October 30th, with an exhibition game at Division I, Missouri State.
Meanwhile, Griffon soccer completes its schedule Friday night at home against Missouri Southern. This was another building season for the program, their win total rising each of the last 2 years. The Griffons currently own a 5-9-1 record this season. They've done it despite losing their top 2 scorers to season-ending knee injuries. No one's satisfied with how the year's played out, but everyone recognizes the strides, especially in the face of adversity.
It's just a team effort. Everybody knew that they had to come in and play their hardest. You know, we have some people that are out and injured and on the bench, so everybody stepped up and realized that we got to work together as a team. And
they've really done a great job buying in, and they get to work every day. And you know, like I told them after the game, all that hard work and dedication they're putting in the program is paying off.
Meanwhile, on the links, Griffon Golf completed its fall season last week in its own Missouri Western Central Region Invitational at St. Joseph Country Club. 20 teams in the event. Individually, Tyler Gast had the highest Griffon finish, placing 11th out of 100 players.
The Missouri Western Athletics Department is mourning the loss of one of its own, too young and too soon. Brittany Douglas died Sunday after collapsing in her home in Bolivar, Missouri. The St. Louis native played softball at Missouri Western from 2008 to 2011. Her 30 career home runs were the second most in school history. Known for her quirky personality and sense of humor and her volunteer work in the community at Missouri Western. Brittany's athletic ability, however, was second to none. A broken leg her junior year probably should have ended her playing career. Instead, she came back her senior year better than ever to have the most productive season of her career. We asked her in 2011, when she was about to graduate, how she wanted to be remembered at Missouri Western. Her response was simple.
I don't want it to be told as the girl who broke her leg, but I feel like that is going to happen. That's how I'm going to be remembered, is the girl that broke her leg playing ball.
How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a damn good outfielder.
Well, she'll be remembered for much more. Brittany Douglas was 23 years old.
All right, we're here with Griffon O-line to talk about a conditioning drill to develop power, explosiveness. You know, as they come out of their three-point stance, that hip extension, they got to have that speed and power. This is a standing broad jump drill. Very important drill, especially for NFL Combine participants. This is a drill that they do every year. We're just going to add a little twist to it with a medicine ball toss. So we got Colt and Macon here that's going to demonstrate this drill. We got a medicine ball, weighs a lot. They're going to get down into their stance where they're going to pick that medicine ball up, but when they come out of that stance, they got to do that with a jump and a broad jump and throw that ball. Okay guys, let's go. So they throw it, then they got to sprint to the ball because football is an anaerobic sport. Anaerobic in that they've got to have power for just a short time. They come back, they throw, they sprint to the ball. They're going to do this one more time. They get lined up here. So they got the power of the squat, the broad jump, the explosion off the line, then they sprint to the ball. That's explosive power. That's training sport specific for the offensive line. That's training like the pros at Spine and Sport.
Missouri Western was painted pink for a great cause and successful result. More than $1,100 was raised during the athletic department's annual Pink Week for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All the money goes to the Heartland Auxiliary Breast Center here in St. Joseph. All right, Brett Easley, it's now time for the Pick'em segment. Look who's back this week.
Well, he's really full of it this week, isn't he?
He's full of gold is what he is. He's discovering gold.
Yes, he
Max,
is.
who is our Pick'em winner for this week? Was it Brett Easley? No, it wasn't. That's right. It was
Mac
me.
Curse of Max. Every time he's on the show, I lose.
I feel like I'm the baby bird and I'm being fed like a worm.
You guys have something going together,
so
obviously.
We do, actually. It is a
to know what
conspiracy.
that contract
Go ahead and hold
is.
this for me. You be my handler.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You need help.
Appreciate
2 on
that.
1.
Just keep
You
it
need 2
there.
heads.
Well, it is. You know, I went 6-3 last week. You went 5-4. It was noble, but I'm still overall lead. Still got the championship for this week. All right, here we go for this week. You ready for this week?
Yeah,
MIAA football.
Wow.
Northwest at Washburn. Northwest at Washburn. Who you got?
Well, I'll tell you what, a battle of one-loss teams. It's in Topeka. Give me Northwest. I think Northwest is far and away the better team. They beat Washburn.
I don't disagree with that, but give me Washburn.
Wow.
Washburn has traditionally played the Bearcats
yes, they
well.
have.
Let's see what happens there. Northeastern at Baptist. Who you got there?
Riverhawks are on the scoreboard, aren't they? They're not going to be on the scoreboard again. Give me Southwest Baptist to win that game.
No, we're going to be different. Give me Northeastern.
Go ahead, take that one.
Pittsburgh State coming off their worst loss in 98 years by the hands of the Griffons, taking on Truman this week. Who you got there?
Well,
That's a big rebound for Pitt.
That's going to be a close game. That was a close game up there last year.
Yes.
Remember that? Pitt State won the national championship. They got to pick themselves up off the turf. Still a lot to play for. I think the Gorillas go to Kirkstone win.
What do you think? Let me know.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be right.
Max feels bad for Pitt. Thank you. It's going to be Pittsburgh. I agree. Okay, Central Oklahoma at Lincoln. Who you got?
You know, I have dogged Lincoln so much on this show, and they've been competitive. Heck, they almost won that. They almost won a football game last week as well. Not going to happen, though. How can you pick them, Central Oklahoma? Although that's going to be an ugly game in Jeff City.
Give me Central Oak as well. Southern at Lindenwood. This is very intriguing.
Well, it's intriguing. Give me Lindenwood. I seem to pick Lindenwood on the show every week. I had to be getting royalty checks from the Lions in St. Charles. Give me the
Missouri Southern,
Battle of the
Missouri.
Lions.
You're essentially picking against Missouri Western. But that's okay.
Give me Missouri
Southern.
Southern.
They don't mean anything. Okay, in the Big 12, number 3 K-State, number 14 Texas Tech. Who you got? Can anybody knock off the Wildcats?
Nobody. Bill Snyder and his Sansa belts and his one meal a day. They're going to win the national championship. Take that to the bank right now. K-State beats Texas
Bill
Tech.
Snyder likes Taco Bell. I did hear that.
And he does.
KU hosts Texas. KU wins.
63-14.
Yep, I like that score. That's a familiar sounding score.
63-14.
Mizzou hosts Kentucky. Who do you have in the toilet bowl of the SEC?
The final score of that game will be 5-4. What do you think, Matt? Final score 5-4. Mizzou wins this week. I'm picking them. First SEC victory on homecoming.
What do you
think? I think that game starts at like 9 a.m. in Columbia this week.
Max says to go Kentucky, just because that's what Max does. Thank you, Max. I appreciate it.
Thanks for that.
That is GSI.
Wait a minute.
Week.
Don't the Chiefs play this week?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, eat your heart out.
Let's just pick the Chiefs to lose. Who they play?
Play the Raiders.
Does it matter?
Raiders.
They lose.
They lose. Chiefs are losing this week.
Okay, that is GSI for this week. Thanks for joining us, and as always,
ladies and gentlemen, go Griffs.